Hello and welcome to a new episode of SEM Connects Virtually.
This week, we will be learning more about the Climate Science and Sustainability Concentration Program.
We will be talking to the program directors, Mrs. Rachel Bartron and Mrs. Nicole Lewis, along with two students who are involved in the program.
We hope you enjoy it.
Thank you for joining us today. We are excited to hear more about this program. Mrs. Bartron and Mrs. Lewis, can you share with us how long you've been at SEM and then also how the Climate Science and Sustainability Program, how it began and when it began?
Sure.
You start.
Sorry. I have been teaching for 16 years, and this is my third year at SEM. And Mrs. Bartron, I'll pass it to you.
I'm so sorry. I started at Wyoming Seminary in 2008, and I've served different positions here. And I'm excited to be working with the Climate Science and Sustainability Program this year.
And when did the program begin?
The program officially kicked off last summer. But we did a ton of research over the last calendar year. And part of that research brought me to working very closely with Mrs. Lewis. We spent the bulk of this summer actually working on launching the academic concentration in climate science and sustainability, which is one part of the program at Wyoming Seminary.
And can you just give everyone some background into what exactly this program is? People may not be familiar with what climate science and sustainability is.
So this program takes an interdisciplinary look at climate science and sustainability and allows students to combine their academic coursework with other kinds of opportunities that they participate in outside of the classroom. So it's sort of a guided course of study, but it's very much self-directed, and students are choosing their own path in completing the concentration program itself through completion of that coursework and then experiential learning in placements off campus as well.
Part of this came out of the work that we already do at Wyoming Seminary. Much of our science courses at the lower school have an Earth systems approach to them. And so they're looking at the Earth as a whole and how humans affect it and the repercussions of that. That comes right on through in our STEM Foundations course, where energy and climate change are a very big part of what the students talk about there. And then added on to that, we have very active students in our environmental clubs at both campuses. So as Mrs. Lewis and I were imagining what this program would look like, we knew we already had a lot of the pieces in place, and we wanted to find a way for students to take all of those different experiences plus more things like our students will talk about in a little bit, but more things that they're doing that come in and give them a very holistic look at climate science, climate change, and sustainability for the planet Earth.
Do you have an idea of how many students are participating in the program this year?
Our first cohort is a cohort of upperclassmen, and that's about 13 students, but we do plan to establish a freshman cohort as well.
That's great.
Wow.
So Christina and Ben, how did you both get involved in the program, and how does your work with this program kind of fall in line with your plans for your future? And we'll just, to avoid confusion, we can start with Ben.
Okay, so I saw the email from Mrs. Bartron and Mrs. Lewis. I think it was around before school started, maybe right after school started, but I really just needed something to, because right now none of my classes really focus on maybe climate science, but it's something that I've been interested in. And this kind of just provides something that it forces me to be accountable and actually make progress in something that I want to do in the future. In the future, I see this probably falling in line with what I want to do, because I want to do something along with business, but also with climate science. So right now, that just allows me to maybe get a head start and actually have something to focus on.
That's great. And how about you, Christina? How did you get involved, and how do you see this playing into your future?
Yeah, I got involved similarly to Ben through an email, and I just thought it was super cool. Over the summer, I participated in a Penn State Hazelton Launchbox entrepreneurship program, and it essentially forced me to create a pitch at the end of 6 weeks. So I had to come up with like a product design and a business model. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I realized ever since the pandemic began that there are a lot of like discarded masks on the ground. So I wanted to come up with a solution to that problem, because a lot of our masks are just made out of plastic and they'll just break down into microplastics, which is not good for our oceans. So essentially I did some research and I came across this one science experiment where this woman was using green tea to make clothes. And it was made out of a process of fermentation. And what she got out of it was green tea cellulose. And so essentially I took that idea and kind of reworked it into a model of a mask. And through that, I just thought that was really cool, and I really want to continue that, and I'm hoping to do research, and especially through this program I think it really aligns with what I want to do, and help me to get a more like a prototype,
So essentially the mask that you're looking to create would be biodegradable, correct?
Yes.
So if someone did throw it on the ground, it's not just a piece of plastic, because you're right, I see them all over.
Yeah.
So do I. It's upsetting.
It's so upsetting.
Yeah.
It's like people just take them off when they get in the car and throw them out. And really, really cool. It's really exciting to hear that you're doing that type of work.
Thank you.
Anyone can answer this question. And I know there have been speakers in the past on campus and different programs. What are some exciting things that we can look forward to seeing from this exciting and informational program that you've brought to campus?
I think one of the first things that we're most excited about is we've just made our way through the meeting with the individual students, and each student has a different emphasis that they want to look into, but there's going to be some opportunities for those students to combine their work and to do work either with science research group, environmental club, or different places on campus. And so I think you'll see these ideas of climate change and sustainability bubbling up through our campus and through our student community. They clearly understand how important their generation is to the long-term well-being of our planet. And to see the student initiative and the student growth in that area, I think will be really exciting. First up though, we do have an alumni panel later this month, where there are two former students, alumni now, who are working in sustainability fields, and another one who is an architect that has experience on different projects related to environment.
Great.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah.
And then Nicole, did you want to jump in and talk a little bit about the portfolio production and then the capstone project?
Okay, so two major components of the program itself are the creation of a portfolio, and that portfolio is designed to collect the work that students do along the way. So they would collect their research there, they would collect experiences and their thoughts about those experiences, and then also any sort of information that they find about different career options or other connections that they're making throughout the time that they work on climate science and sustainability. So that portfolio itself is designed to follow them throughout the entire program and then be able to be refined, and the student can take that with them as a representation of their work. The capstone project is a project that students are expected to complete toward the end of their junior year or the start of their senior year, where they will take the work that they've done and display it to the entire community.
That sounds great. That's really cool what you guys are doing.
This is also just, I think, so important at this time of really taking care of the planet and taking care of our earth. And it's really exciting to see that this really just folds into what we're already doing at Wyoming Seminary. And it will also go into their college years and university years. You're really getting a jump on what you'll be doing next.
Yeah. Very cool. Thank you guys so much for talking to us. We are, I'm sure Maddie agrees, we're both looking forward to seeing all the work you guys do at the upper school in the coming years, and good luck, and let us know if you ever need any help with alumni outreach or anything. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great school year.
Thank you.